You know, it's always interesting when someone builds this huge public profile, like really huge in one area, and then it just pivots completely.
Absolutely. Switches gears entirely.
Yeah. And today, we're doing a deep dive into Rabi Lamichhane in Nepal. He's a figure who definitely made that leap, right? From being a major media
A
personality
very prominent one.
to suddenly being right there, slap bang in the middle of the country's political scene.
And the material we have here, it really covers that whole arc. His time in media, which was
Hmm.
pretty impactful, his, frankly, surprisingly fast political rise, and then, well, the controversies that seem to follow him.
Right. So the goal today is, I guess, to unpack that, to really get a handle on the key moments in his journey and, what his impact on Nepalese politics actually is based on what we've seen.
Exactly. Understand the trajectory.
Okay, so let's start with that media career because
All
it
right.
feels like that's the bedrock, yeah. His show, Sita Janata Sangha.
Straight talk with the people.
Right. That really hit a nerve, didn't it? From what I understand, it wasn't just reporting news. It was about, like, holding people's feet to the fire. Accountability.
Precisely. The format itself was quite innovative for the context. You reportedly had ordinary citizens directly confronting officials, sometimes live on air.
Wow.
Yeah, it created this sense of immediate action, almost like a grievance redressal that maybe wasn't there before in the same way.
That direct line.
That direct line.
Yeah.
And combine that with his uh, Guinness World Record, remember that?
Vaguely, yeah, for talking for ages.
Exactly. The longest nonstop TV talk show. It was back in 2013, over 62 hours.
62 hours. Huh?
Seriously.
Dude,
Seriously. So things like that, plus the show's confrontational style,
Mm-hmm.
it undeniably built him a massive and very loyal following. That's a powerful launchpad.
No kidding. And launch he did. June 2022, he sets up the Rastriya Swatantra Party, the RSP.
A brand new political force.
And for a new party, their performance just a few months later in the November 2022 elections. That was pretty remarkable. They got 20 seats in the House of Representatives.
Quite significant. It shook things up.
What do you think drove that? Just being new.
Well, being new was part of it, sure, an alternative. But I think it tapped into a real vein of public frustration, dissatisfaction with the established parties.
Mm-hmm.
Their message seemed to resonate with people wanting change, wanting maybe more direct representation. And that momentum carried Lamichhane himself to a win in Chitwan, too.
And then almost immediately, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Home Affairs in December 2022. That's lightning fast.
Incredibly swift rise, yeah.
Yeah.
From media host to DPM in, 6 months after forming the party?
But then almost as fast came that citizenship issue, January 2023, the Supreme Court ruling. Can you walk us through that a bit?
Sure. The core issue, legally speaking, was about process. The Supreme Court found he hadn't properly or formally reinstated his Nepali citizenship after he'd given up his U.S. citizenship.
Oh, okay. So he had been a U.S. citizen.
Yes. And when he returned and entered politics, the court said the paperwork, essentially to get his Nepali citizenship fully reactivated, wasn't completed correctly.
And the consequences were immediate.
Very. Removed from his ministerial post, lost his parliamentary seat. It really highlighted how crucial these sort of fundamental legal frameworks are, especially for holding high office.
Yet he wasn't out for long. He managed to sort out the citizenship issues
He did. He went through the required process.
and was reappointed as Home Minister in March 2024. That shows some resilience or maybe political maneuvering.
It certainly shows an ability to navigate the system, perhaps. But the calm didn't last, did it?
No. These other allegations surfaced in 2024. Financial misconduct related to cooperative funds from his TV presenter days.
That's right. Allegations emerged linking him to irregularities in cooperative funds back when he was in media. This really stirred things up again.
And the opposition jumped on it.
They did, demanding a parliamentary investigation, creating quite a bit of political tension. Things got heated.
So where does that stand now?
Well, Prime Minister Dahal actually won a vote of confidence in May 2024, sort of weathering that particular storm for the coalition. And Lamichhane himself has strongly denied all those allegations.
But the issue lingers.
It seems to. It adds to the complexity surrounding him.
So taking all this together, his media fame, the rapid rise, the controversies, how is he actually seen by the public? It sounds like people have strong opinions.
Oh, definitely. He's a very polarizing figure, no doubt about it.
How so?
Well, on one side, you have his supporters. They see him as a change agent, an outsider challenging the old guard, fighting for the common person. His direct style resonates with them.
The straight talk persona carried over?
Exactly. But then, on the other side, you have critics who point to his lack of maybe deep political experience, and they definitely highlight these controversies, the citizenship issue, the financial allegations, as reasons why he might not be suited for such high office.
So trust is a key factor here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But regardless of which side people fall on, his ability to connect with the public, to mobilize opinion, that seems undeniable.
Yeah.
It's a major source of his influence.
Okay. So, wrapping this up, we've seen this really unique path. Media star leverages that platform, achieves significant political power incredibly quickly, but faces these major hurdles and controversies along the way. It's quite a story.
It really is. Turbulent, you could say.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder, doesn't it? For you, the listener, having heard this snapshot of Rabi Lamichhane's journey, what bigger questions does it raise? Think about that interplay between media fame, public trust, and raw political power, especially when someone makes such a dramatic jump between those worlds. What are the long-term effects when figures like this emerge onto a country's political stage? Something to ponder.